very important initiative to be customer-centric. And this will be sometimes bank-led and sometimes by new entrants coming from the e-commerce and sometimes from service delivery systems. So the diversity of the type of financial institutions will be key going forward. Now, to make this all a reality, we need connectivity across the board in the whole country. We need smartphones, not just feature phones. We sometimes, long time ago, we would actually see that smartphone was a luxury item for a woman that is far away and sometimes cannot leave a house and has to sell products. Having a smartphone is not a luxury; it's like a link to the world. We need interoperability, not only among the mobile phone operators, but between the different payment systems. We need a retail payment system that is affordable to all players. We need affordable KYC and clear KYC processes. And of course, we need good regulation for financial technology. So giving these new innovations the possibility to enter the market and actually give us fantastic products that we can actually build upon. And in the case of women, we need to work even further on the issues of connectivity, given that they have less connectivity. Today, 33% of women have a mobile phone compared to 73% of men. And 45% of women who do not own a mobile phone reported that they were not permitted to own one by family members. So if we want to include women in the financial system, we really have to connect them. So for women, it's not only financial inclusion, it's also digital inclusion. Having said all of this, today we can celebrate. I am delighted to join the launch of the Ehsaas Financial Inclusion Strategy. This strategy aims to ensure that the vital poverty alleviation support that the Benazir Income Support Program brings to over 6 million women also supports their own financial inclusion. Starting in 2020, all the beneficiaries will receive a regular bank account on which they can transact. As a tagline for this approach, and you also mentioned, is one woman, one bank account. I think it's formidable. It is also pleasing to see an overall financial inclusion strategy for Ehsaas. The goals that you just mentioned of prioritizing banking, of informal workers, accelerating access to credit, and creating digital platforms to support access to nano loans are all extremely important. Let me congratulate Dr. Nista on all her efforts. And when she mentions 10 months of procurement, I really know how hard it is to get the details. I mean, sometimes we speak about these big programs, but getting the details is really extremely important to get them right. But I do hope that she's aware that this is just the beginning. We have many more women to go. So we need to get creative, and we need to listen to women's needs, and we have to work together. And lastly, I'd like to thank the Prime Minister, who is here today, for showing his support for financial inclusion as a key priority for driving Pakistan's economic and social development. I think your leadership, Mr. Prime Minister, will be key in coordinating, implementing all of these efforts, but also incentivizing and pushing your different departments and the private sector, not to forget, to actually make this a reality to all Pakistanis and all the enterprises that you have in your country. My partners, the World Bank, Gates Foundation, IMF, and many others are here ready, and the UN system, of course, prepared and ready to help you and support you in this very exciting road that we hope that will not take too long. I thank you very much, and I commend you for your efforts.
नेदरलैंड्स की मलका मैक्सिमा एहसास माशी इश्तराक के इक़दाम के हवाले से मुतालिक तकरीब से खिताब कर रही थी। उनका ये कहना था कि मुल्क की तरक्की के लिए ख़वातीन को मालियाती निज़ाम में शामिल करना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। पाकिस्तान में सिर्फ 7% ख़वातीन ऐसी हैं जिनके बैंक अकाउंट्स हैं, और यही जो इशारा है ये माशी इन्हिसार की तरफ है कि ख़वातीन मुआशरे में मर्दों पर माशी तौर पर इन्हिसार करती हैं। ख़वातीन को मालियाती तौर पर बाइख्तियार बनाना होगा ताकि मुआशरा बेहतर अंदाज में तरक्की कर सके। पाकिस्तान में सिर्फ 33% ख़वातीन के पास मोबाइल है। जब ये प्रोग्राम ख़त्म होगा, जब ये प्रोग्राम चलेगा, तो हर खातून का अपना बैंक अकाउंट होगा, क्योंकि इस प्रोग्राम के तहत नाज़रीन जैसे कि सानिया निश्तर साहिबा फरमा रही थी, उनका कहना था कि 1 वुमेन 1 बैंक अकाउंट और एक्सेस टू क्रेडिट जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। अब इसी तकरीब से वज़ीर आज़म इमरान खान खिताब कर रहे हैं, आपको दिखाते हैं।
Ladies and gentlemen, fortunately, Sadia gave such a comprehensive briefing that I do not really have to say much, except to thank you for coming here and really taking so much interest, with so much passion for something which we Pakistanis, it's our duty to take people out of poverty. And so I was listening to you just before we came here, and I was really impressed that someone could care so much for human beings, not in their country, in some other country. And I find that that's really what differentiates human beings, the compassion. I was a social worker before I became a politician. So my motivation for coming into politics was social work. I felt that there was, if I just stuck to social work, there was so much to do that no amount of social work could make a difference. It's only if you came into government and built a welfare state, that's the only way you can really help the people in your country, the underprivileged people in your country. And hence I came into politics. I was inspired by our Prophet, peace be upon him, who set up the first welfare state in the history of mankind. It was the state he set up in Medina was based on principles of compassion and justice. And the state decided to take the responsibility of the weaker section of the society. So the first time a state took responsibility of orphans or widows, of the poor people, of handicapped, and pensions were introduced first time in that state. So for the old people. And so as a Muslim, we are told in the holy book by the Almighty, the divine book, that we have to follow the example of our Prophet, peace be upon him. And hence, my motivation for coming into politics, to build a welfare state in Pakistan. And so this program of Ehsaas, which basically means care and compassion, this program which you see, and which I must compliment Sadia, because she has done really hard work, comprehensive, the way she has gone in fine details to set up these various initiatives under the heading of Ehsaas. And this, of course, financial inclusion is the core of the Ehsaas program, because unfortunately this trend in the world where the poor get poorer and the rich get richer, the poor countries get poorer and the richer countries get richer, the gap keeps increasing. I find that it is inhuman. I find it's inhuman that the statistics I read, I think it was one of the UN bodies which came up with these statistics, that 60 odd people own as much wealth as about 3 billion people on this earth. So there has to be something wrong with that system, which creates this inequality where people have such money which they will never be able to, if they lived 5 lifetimes, they would not be able to spend it. And yet on the other side, you have poverty. And I also feel that that this greed in the universe, where you have the rich wanting to avoid taxes, so have their offshore accounts and these tax havens, and would do anything not to be part of, not to pay their dues so that you can lift people out of poverty, as what China has done. What China has done is remarkable. I mean, they have taken out almost 700 million people out of poverty in 30 years. Never done in human history. So this idea where the rich want to get richer and this greed, it is the biggest curse of this planet. All the problems which our Earth faces, global warming, this environmental degradation. All of them, the root cause is greed, where it's never enough. I mean, you can make as much money as you want, but the level of greed is always going to make you want more. And so you have this strange phenomena on this earth where you have people now get into these boats, risking their lives to get to the land of milk and honey, where people want to get away from poverty. So I feel that, yes, in our country we will be trying our best, not because of votes, because it's my belief that it's not a civilized society where you have such poverty, where sections of your society are deprived of their daily needs, and the rich just want more and more money and don't pay their taxes. So this is a real, what we have, my government has decided that we will be the first government that is going to, all our policies will be to lift people out of poverty. So whatever we do, our economic policies, our agriculture policy, whatever policies we make, the bottom line will be how does it help the poor people, as opposed to the elitist policies we've had in the past, where policies are only made for a small elite society. So our education system is only for a tiny elite class. You have three-tier education system. So one is for the small elite class, which has this privileged education. Then you have the government school education, which is for the poorer section. And then right at the bottom, you have these dini madrasas, which are religious schools, which cater for the poorest of the poor. So we have a three-tier system. So the poor, the bottom two, do not get good jobs. So the society only caters for the elite. The hospitals are for the elite. Taxes, poor people, common people pay taxes because most of our taxes come from indirect taxes. The rich hardly pay taxes. So the whole mindset has to change, where the whole society as a whole decides that we cannot allow this unfair, unjust system to continue. And this Ehsaas program is a beginning. We hope that as it starts kicking in, Sadia has made great efforts to make sure that there's credibility, that there's integrity in the system, that we do not allow the system to be misused, as most of our programs are misused. So we've taken great care. People are, because of our economic situation, for our restructuring the economy, getting out of an economic crisis, people are suffering. But we decided that we are not going to throw away money unless and until we have a credible system of distribution. The most vulnerable section are women from the poor background. And we cannot, as society, cannot move forward if it does not educate and look after its women. So our top priority is to lift our women out of poverty. And we have a big range of measures which we hope that we will be able to take them out of poverty. So finally, Your Majesty, thank you for coming. We welcome you here. We hope you will come back, and we value the concern you show for our country. Thank you.
एहसास माशी इश्तराक के इक़दाम से मुतालिक तकरीब के इनेकाद से वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इमरान खान खिताब कर रहे थे। उनका ये कहना था, सबसे पहले उन्होंने मलका मैक्सिमा का शुक्रिया अदा किया। उनका कहना था कि एहसास प्रोग्राम में मलका मैक्सिमा की दिलचस्पी पर शुक्रगुजार हैं। हम असल में गुर्बत का ख़ात्मा करना चाहते हैं। इंसानों की कदर करना, उनके मसाइल को समझना बहुत बड़ा इक़दाम है। पहली बार रियासत मदीना में यतीमों और बेवाओं को हुकूक दिए गए थे। गुज़श्ता दहाइयों में अमीर और गरीब का फ़र्क बढ़ा है। हम वो फ़र्क ख़त्म करना चाहते हैं। नाज़रीन, आप हमारे साथ रहे, आपका बहुत शुक्रिया।